Some of you may not know how depression works. Some of you may not know basically how it comes about. I mean, in different cases, sometimes a trauma may take over. Sometimes people end up having a hard time because they have a home, they have bills, they have kids. They basically have a life that they have to take care of. But then something happens down the line. Father or the mother may lose their job. They have to cut expenses. Honestly, that one may be bound to get depressed. Sometimes it could be temporary. Sometimes it could be for a long term. It varies. But regardless of how long or what it may be, instead of holding it in, especially your typical man who has all that ego and pride and doesn't want to, he needs to be the first one to speak up. Because even though you're a man, and yes, you're supposed to provide, you're a human. So what? It happens. Speak to your loved one. Speak to your other half. That's what she or he is there for. Don't come down on yourself. It's not worth it. You try the best that you can. And this goes out for anybody. You go out there and you try your best to do something and you fail. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to just that's it, the rest of your life is ruined. It's not. There's alternative paths. There's so much more that you can do. Get up, try again. I know things are easier said than done, believe me. But what I'm trying to say is that don't look to depression and don't don't become depressed. I mean, again, it's easier said than done. But what I'm saying is find the support. Find whoever you can to stop you and get you out of that sinkhole before it's too late. Again, it's not a bad thing or a weak move to go seek help from a physician. It is the most smartest thing that you can do is to go get help. And I really recommend and encourage everybody who sees this, and I pray that somebody sees this, somebody that I can help, somebody who can go and get better. I speak from experience. Although I don't want to speak of my experience, I've been dealing with depression. I've been seeing doctors. I've taken medications. I've had people who were supposed to be my support system and they were the complete opposite. I'm still to this day dealing with things more or less by myself because the support system I have is not exactly a support system. Sometimes people, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like I'm choosing males or females, but males seem to have a hard time comprehending the whole concept of depression and a person feeling down and a person feeling lost and a person they don't have that emotional capacity to really, I'm not going to say all, but at least the men that I've dealt with, they don't have the emotional capacity to comprehend what I'm going through, and it's very hard with that. And I try to ignore it. Sometimes it's easy. Some days I'm having the worst of the worst and it's not easy. And I'll explode and Godzilla and the Hulk and King Kong comes out all at once. Oh, and the Tasmanian devil. But I'm just trying to explain that depression is serious. Whoever, whenever, however you can talk to them, do it. On a regular basis, do it. Express yourself. Express how you're feeling. Don't be shy. Don't be scared that you'll be judged. You're a person. You're a human. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to feel good. You're allowed to feel bad. Just don't feel evil. Don't be evil. That you're not supposed to. So that let's try to avoid. But as far as you being person and being a person who has feelings and feelings is hurt and just don't know where to turn, you always have somewhere to turn. Even if you turn to a video like this one and you want to write a message to me, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm not really much, but I have the experience, and unfortunately I've had my down and outs, and I've had the worst of the worst. I'm sure there's worse, but as far as how I feel and how it made me feel, at that point, it felt like that was my last possible moment. But I came out of it. And I will only come out of it. And things will only get better. And I put my life on that. And my life on that will be until the day that he chooses that's that. People, please understand depression is serious. Understand that you do need to get help. Do it. Get it. It's not a bad thing. It's very helpful. And you'll feel so much better. At that point, you'll feel so much better. You'll feel better than you did initially. And it'll make you feel like you can literally conquer the world. Go for it. Do it. I know you can.